Okay, we're back for part two. Hopefully you had a nice sip of water and not too long of a break. Hopefully it's still a full moon. We will start. Oh, here's Banu. Look who I found. You've even got his favorite brush. Yeah, he loves that. Let's see, why don't we start in a hanging forward bend. Relaxing here. I'm going the long way here. Just relax the back, the neck, the shoulders. So the way that you'll be able to see me in this case would be to mirror what I'm doing. So when I step well, if you're not already mirroring me, it's not going to work. Anyway, I'm going to step the leg that's closest to you back into lunge. Okay, and then we're going to do our half moon balance, but I believe that a child would do the half moon balance one of two ways. I think the first way they'd be inclined to do their half moon balance would be to do it as a cartwheel, and we're not about to do that. So the next way would be to come up from down here, just sort of climb up. So in this case, my left hand, the hand that's furthest from you, it's not going to come straight over. It's going to come over and to the side a little bit, and then I'm going to keep both hands down and then extend up, and then from here I can bring this arm up, and then the hardest part is to look up at this top hand, but it can be done. What do you think, Banu? All right, great. Let's come back down. Not too bad. Back to lunge. And then let's do Anjaneyasana. This is similar. It's exactly the same as our crescent moon pose, but it has a different spirit. Instead of a crescent moon, it's a solar eclipse. So drop the right knee, flatten the right foot out. Maybe walk this foot over this way to widen your base, and you can come up to here. So Anjaneya was a child god, and his parents left him alone, and there was a eclipse, and he didn't like it, or he was scared, and he flew up and pushed the moon out of the way. So instead of a crescent moon, this looks like an eclipse. So how about one more breath here? And then first just look straight ahead, and then you can balance easier. Hands come back to the heart, hands come down to the floor, curl the back toes under, press up to lunge, and then we will step forward. Back to our hanging forward bend, relax here. Okay, and then I'm going to turn around to do the other side. Not strictly necessary for you anymore. I'm going to step. This will be my left leg, but it's the leg closest to your screen. Okay. So this is my lunge, and then to get up to my half moon balance, this hand comes up, keeping both hands down, and then press up, And then when you feel stable, have a lot of weight in this hand, and then when you feel stable, this arm comes up and you can look up at this arm. So Banu is like, I don't know if he's purring right into the microphone or not, if you can hear him. All right, how about one more breath here, and then this goes back down. We come back to lunge. You can drop the left knee down, flatten the left foot out, and then maybe walk this foot over to widen out my base, and then I'm pressing here and there. Press down, and then the hands come up to here. Stay here. You don't have to come all the way up. If you want to, you may. How about one more breath here? Lower your gaze. Bring your arms back down. Curl your back toes under. Press up to lunge. And then step up to hanging forward bend. Relax here. Come here, Banu. What are you doing over there? So then we're going to go back to downward facing dog. You can either walk your feet back, or you can, depending on where you are on your mat, you can walk your hands forward, or you can hop back. See if I can hop back without alarming Banu. So our next goddess pose will be dedicated to Lakshmi, goddess of wealth and prosperity and beauty. So I'm going to check my grip, both hands and my foot. I think it's a pretty decent grip, and then lift one leg up. How about one more breath here? Lower that leg, check your grip again. Take a couple breaths if you need to. And then when you're ready, the other leg will go up and breathe. How about one more breath? And then lower that leg. Give yourself another good stretch in your downward dog. Really good stretch. And then we can do different versions of child pose, because that's our theme, is children, babies, infants. So everyone's favorite child pose is the extended child pose. May as well do that. And then we can make the Anjali Mudra above the head, but reach your elbows forward as far as you can. So pull the elbows forward, and you'll get a great stretch in the triceps and a bunch of other muscles attached to the shoulders. One more breath here. And then we can come into our rabbit pose. So if you're on the hardwood floor, you want to definitely roll your mat up or just bunch it up into a little cushion for your head. I don't have to worry about that here. And then I just roll forward onto the very crown point of the head, not near your forehead, but towards the back of the head. And then there's 3 versions we know of so far. The classic is with the toes curled under, holding the heels. And then if I walk my knees away, I can hold my ankles. Or everyone's favorite seems to be the version with the arms behind the back, looking like the big ears of the bunny rabbit. And in Sanskrit, rabbit and moon are the same thing, and you'll see this shape when you look up at the full moon tonight. It might be a little crooked, depending on your perspective. One more breath here. And then release down. And if that hurt your head, you'll remember next time to take my advice and make yourself a nice cushion for your head. So let us make our half moon movement, another moon pose. Right, Banu? Okay, so the half moon movement is, the bottom leg is bent, but it's not up here. Keep it away from you. Top leg is long, elbow directly under the shoulder for the greatest stability. And then we pull upward, up and over, big inhale, and then exhale down. We'll just go up and down like this. Come here, Banu. Maybe he wants. So you keep going up and down. There you go. No bribery. How about next time we go up, stay at the top, breathe here. We can emulate our half moon balance that we did before by bringing the arm up, bringing the leg up, looking up at the hand. One more breath here. Come on down, start your other side. How about next time you go up, stay here. and then emulate our half moon balance. And come to sitting. So our next child-related or infant-related pose will be the cradle. If you have tight hips like me, be super careful about your back, because the body tends to transfer stress or load from one area to the other, depending on what it can handle. And so if one muscle gives out, it all goes to the other muscle. And the same thing with structure. So the bottom leg is just here for support or stability. And then I'm gonna, anything rocking a baby just like this is perfectly fine, but I think I'm gonna try to get my foot here and my knee here, which looks something like this. And then just gently rock your baby. So be careful of your back, especially when you release this. Let it go slowly. Let your baby down. Okay, do the other side. And then rock your baby a little bit. Okay, maybe we'll try, if we have time, try that from reclining. Seems to be much easier. We can do another child-related pose known as the wild child. That's not the actual Sanskrit translation. It's Kamatkarasana, and one very poetic translation is the ecstatic unfolding of the enraptured heart. So I like that version better. But it starts from a table, and this is all you have to do, is just your table. If you want to do this, then one hand would come up, you'd extend up and turn to the side. Hopefully you're turning towards me so you can see what I'm doing. I'm hyper extending up here. And if you do one side, try the other. And we'll come back down. Lay back, hug your knees. You know what? Before we do that, let's roll onto your side. The side star is a very challenging position, but I always promise you that we can do an easy version. So I'm supporting my head and just holding here, here, or here. I think we lost Benu. I don't think he'll be back. So we could hold this pose for quite some time because it sort of holds itself together. But let's just take one more breath. And release. You can roll over if you wanted to, or come around to the other side. Support your head. So how about one more breath here? And now you can lay on your back again, hug your knees, and then drop your feet to the mat. And we'll do a bridge with a dedication to Lakshmi here. So first, we just, so the good way to do your bridge is instead of planking up, first draw the abs down, feel the hips rotate, feel the tailbone point upward, and now you can peel your spine up off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Hold yourself down if you need to, so that you don't plank up. That's exactly what we don't want to do. Roll through the spine. If you came up too quick, you'll have another chance to try it again. I'm going to join my arms underneath me, tuck the shoulders under, and then lift. This is dedicated to Lakshmi. How about one more breath here? You may lower that leg, and we're gonna come down as slowly and precisely as we came up, one vertebra at a time, just like the keys of a piano. So don't play chords, play one note at a time. And then we're going to go back up so we can do the other leg. So this time, again, you have a chance to try it again. So draw the abs down, press the lower back into the mat. The tailbone is the first thing to come up. And now, one vertebra at a time. Take your time. Cervical spine, that's the hardest part probably. Hard to say. Everyone's spine is different, I guess. Okay, when you come up as high as you want, join the hands or tuck the shoulders under, bring the other leg up. And breathe. One more breath here. The leg comes down, the hands get out of the way, and then again, the spine's going to come down nice and slow, rolling down through the spine. We could go up and down multiple times to make sure we really got it, but twice is good. And then a couple more child-related poses, and we're almost done. So hug your knees to your chest. And then we'll do Happy Baby. Maybe rock side to side, very happy baby. And as I've mentioned before, here at the dojo, if I don't hit my microphone, if I tip over, it's no big deal. I just boost myself up with my elbow. Very childlike. So it's not a disaster. Why don't we see if we can do that cradle pose here. It's a little bit easier. It's much less inclined to go into your back. All right, good. So that's practically it. Hug your knees to your chest one final time. Arms out to the sides. And we'll go into our final twist. The knees drop to one side, the head to the other. And slowly bring your knees to the other side. If your palms are facing down, have them facing up. It opens out the pose very nicely. Very slowly come back to center. Hug your knees to your chest one final time, releasing any tension in your lower back. And you might do some little careful shoulder movements, very careful neck movements, just to release any leftover tension before we meditate. And then whenever you're ready, you'll take your last breath and then exhale, collapse down into your corpse pose and go into your favorite Savasana meditation. And if you don't have one or you don't meditate, just do long, even, natural breathing into your belly like an infant. And while you do that, I'm going to go see if I can find Banu again. So relax. And take a deep, reawakening breath. And then roll on to the side that you don't normally roll onto. Come into a fetal position, support your head. This is yet another baby pose that we do. Take a few more breaths here. We can slowly come up to sitting. And when the moon is full, we end the class with a little oming. So that's why I'm sitting on my legs. Was when I sit cross-legged, it tends to crush my diaphragm. Also, the Dhyana Mudra is good for this one too. And we'll just take a few breaths, and then we'll do 3 ohms. And remember, it doesn't matter what your ohm sounds like, it's the feeling. So the same as we say that it's not what a pose looks like, it's how it feels. Same thing with this. It's not exactly how it sounds, it's how it feels in your head. You'll hear buzzing and in your lips and in your teeth and vibrating in your sinuses, and you'll hear many syllables, at least 3 separate syllables. So Om is either spelled O-M or A-U-M, and A-U-M accentuates the different syllables. And then I might try some vocal harmonics. I know Benu doesn't like this.
but we'll give it a try. So how about 3? And I'll close with a quote from Sai Baba, who said, "Communion with the divine, that is the true purpose of yoga. Namaste." Thank you so much for watching. It's always an extreme pleasure to practice with you and a privilege to practice with you. And we will see you next time.